Hey guys, Thrasher here, and today we're going to be talking about Dragon Ball Legends and how it relates to Dragon Ball Dokkan Battle. The similarities, the differences, which game is for different types of mobile game players. So let's get into it. Okay, first things first, there are a lot of ways that these two games relate to each other. They're both mobile RPGs, they're both set in the Dragon Ball universe with Dragon Ball characters, and all of the events surround events that happen in the Dragon Ball universe, obviously with their own twists and their own specific storyline. They both use a rock, paper, scissors mechanic where there are certain colors or types that are strong and weak to each other. The difference is that Dokkan uses puzzle-based, turn-based combat, and Legends uses real-time 3D fighting combat. So the first thing you're going to notice if you play both games, and before we get into this, let me just tell you that I've been playing Dokkan Battle since it came out 3 years ago, so I have 3 years of experience in Dokkan Battle. I've been playing Legends since the very beginning of the soft launch, so we're about 3 weeks in, maybe a little more at this point. So I have a reasonable amount of experience with both, or pretty much as you can have with both of them. So Dokkan is a more passive game, meaning that you can play it when you're doing something else, not driving. Don't ever play a mobile game when you're driving, but doing something else that also needs your attention. So maybe you're watching a movie and you want to sit there and farm on Dokkan Battle while you do it. Very easy to do. You can't do the same with Legends in most cases, just because it takes a lot more concentration, even if you're reasonably stronger than your opponents, because the fighting is real time. You have to dodge attacks, you have to attack back at correct times. So that's in my opinion the biggest difference between the two games. Dokkan is very passive, Legends is very active. The other major difference is Dokkan has way more content by a mile, and that's to be expected. Dokkan's been out for 3 years, Legends has been out for 3 weeks, and if you're talking true global release, it's not even really out yet. So that's probably one more thing we should talk about. In Legends, you can go through all of the content in the game right now in probably 3 days, maybe 4 days of active gameplay. So if you are playing hardcore in like 3 days max, you'll have beaten pretty much everything that's in Legends right now. That absolutely cannot happen in Dokkan. At the minimum, it will take you 3-4 weeks to get to a point where you can play the hardest difficulty events in Dokkan Battle. And on the content side of things, Dokkan Battle has far more characters, but on the art side, Legends has Dokkan beat, in my opinion, pretty heavily. So obviously it's 2D art versus 3D art, but I think just if you look at the general quality, even of the 2D cards in Legends, I think they're considerably better than the art in 98% of the cards in Dokkan Battle. Now, there are a couple really cool cards in Dokkan Battle, but I would say on the whole, it's considerably better on the Legends side. Going back to the gameplay a little bit, I think Legends is a much deeper game. So Dokkan Battle, at this point in the game, is pretty much just you put 6 characters that synergize well. The only thing that really matters are your leaders have synergistic or the same leader skill that then buffs up your units that are in the same category right now. So really all that matters is doing a ton of damage and having good key links, which is kind of boring. The great thing about Legends is there are so many different tactics you can use in Legends. So there are lots of cookie cutter builds, but it's not always just do a ton of damage. There's the Piccolo, Pan, Vegeta, where you've got Vegeta doing a ton of damage, Piccolo's actually tanking for you, and Pan is setting up your team, right? So it's not just bring 3 huge heavy hitters, and then outside of that, there's equipment, so you can set up your characters in different ways, and that adds a lot of variation to the stats and the way that works. There's Z abilities, which work similar to leader skill in Dokkan Battle, but they're all very specialized, so you can, as more characters come out, you'll be able to see more customized teams, so that'll be awesome. The other major thing that I really want to point out that's really impressed me so far in the few weeks that I've been playing Legends is the development team behind Legends is super responsive. They've had, kind of annoying that they've had maintenance every couple days, but they've been making changes consistently to make the game better and better and better every couple days. So there were cheaters in the very first season of PvP, and they squashed that within 72 hours, which I've never seen. I've never seen that in my entire career as a gamer, that developers come in and fix that issue that quickly. The other thing to mention about the PvP is it's true PvP in Legends as opposed to Dokkan, where you just have these world tournaments where it's just everyone grind and whoever grinds the hardest wins, and that's really all there is to it. This is truly, in Legends, you versus another player using your teams trying to beat each other. So in my opinion, if you were to ask me right now which game is more fun, I would say that Legends is more fun for a very short period of time, but you run out of content. So if you want to play a game super hard for the next couple weeks, probably go after Dokkan Battle. But I think it's going to go through that same period that Dokkan Battle went through the first like 6 months of its game cycle, where as they pump in more content, it's just going to be a better game period. So I think in the long run, Legends will be a better game. It just doesn't have enough content right now to keep most people who are looking for a game that they can play consistently content. So what I would say is play both games if you like the Dragon Ball universe. You probably will have more fun with Legends right off the bat, but if you play just Legends by itself, you're going to run out of content before they start pumping stuff out. So play both. Dokkan's cool. I'm not going to stop playing Dokkan, but I think in the long run, I will eventually stop playing Dokkan because Legends will just be a better game, full of content. And then every now and then, if I want a game to play where I don't have to actively pay attention to it, I'll play a little Dokkan. And I would say that's probably my recommendation for most people. If you're looking for a truly active game, Legends is the way to go. If you're looking for a game just to waste a little bit of time here and there, then Dokkan's a great choice. But like I said before, you can always play both, and I'm going to continue to do that. So I think that's it for my review of how the two games compare. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Maybe I'm completely wrong. I'd love to hear your opinions. If you like this content, make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one.